everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for those that are new here, my name is Peyton Taylor. I am a personal trainer and I'm here to teach you everything about fitness and health. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing everything you need to know about how to build your booty. There are 4 key things that we're going to go over in this video. So the first one is how to structure your workouts, progressive overload, how much you should be eating, and then the 4th one is eating the right macronutrients. We have a lot of ground to cover, so let's just jump right into it. The first thing I want to discuss before even jumping into the 4 key components is the anatomy of the glutes. So we're just going to keep this very simple. In the glutes, there are 3 main muscles. So you have your gluteus maximus, your gluteus minimus, and your gluteus medius. Referring to the glutes, most people are talking about the gluteus maximus because the gluteus maximus is twice as big as the medius and minimus combined. So that is the main portion of glute. That when you see the glutes, that's what you're looking at, the gluteus maximus. So later on in this video, when referring to the glutes, I'm just going to use the word upper and lower regions, and you're gonna know what I'm talking about when we get into this video. The first key thing that you need to be doing to grow your glutes is structuring your workouts properly. There are 4 necessary movement patterns that you need to have in your workouts. First one being a squat or a lunge, second one being a hinge, third one being a thrust or a bridge, and then the 4th one being an abduction. Those are the 4 necessary movement patterns that you should be doing each leg day. The squats/lunges are going to target the lower glutes and the quads. So first we have back squats. So I like to use the low bar position as it's more comfortable for me, and it actually involves more glutes because you hinge more. Then you have front squats, which are actually more quad dominant, but I like to use these as an accessory after I heavy deadlift. Goblet squats, sumo squats, Bulgarian split squats, reverse lunges, and step-ups. Hinges are going to target the lower glutes and hamstrings. So first you have conventional deadlift, sumo deadlift, barbell Romanian deadlift, dumbbell Romanian deadlift, good mornings, cable pull-throughs, and kettlebell swings. The thrust and bridges are going to target your entire glute. So first you have hip thrusts, B stance hip thrusts, triple pump hip thrusts, 1.5 hip thrusts, pause hip thrusts. Then you have glute bridges, B stance glute bridges, pause glute bridges. Then you have single leg landmine hip thrusts and single leg dumbbell hip thrusts. These are great to balance out any imbalances that you might have. Abductions target your upper glutes. Banded abductions, tube walk, monster walk, and cable leg raises. Here's a list of my favorite exercises for leg day. So the best exercises to isolate the glutes and try not to target any like quads or hamstrings, for those of you that are looking to do that, would be reverse hypers are a great example of that, as well as glute focused back extensions, and then any type of thrust or bridge movement and abduction movement is going to be great for just targeting the glutes only, just to give my workout a little extra oomph. You know what I'm saying? Now let's talk sets and rep ranges. My guess is that most of you guys are here to build a booty. So that's when you want to focus on hypertrophy or muscle gain. If your goal is build a booty, build some muscle, keep your sets around 3 to 4, then you want to keep your reps around 8 to 12. But once you have the exercises that you want to do picked out, now it's time to put all those exercises together. Always start with compound movements. So compound movements are going to be the exercises that are using multiple muscles at one time, and not the accessory movements like reverse hypers, banded tube walks, all of that kind of stuff. Here's an example of 2 different workouts that I put together to kind of show you how to do this. The first example is going to be starting with a back squat. So on days where I squat heavy, I will do a lighter hinge, and then on days where I deadlift heavy, I will do a lighter squat. I don't really do anything higher than 8 reps on a back squat. If you do, you are superhuman. 8 squats, I am on the floor dying, I am toast. is not my thing. And then you go into hip thrust 4x10. I always like following my main compound, so either my squat or deadlift with the thrust. I hate hip thrusts. I don't know how you people like it. It just takes so much out of me. I feel like I'm dying every time I do it. After that, you'll go into dumbbell RDL. So I'll add a hinge, 3x10, and then go into my abduction movement. And an example of how I would put an accessory for just the glutes after all of this is a cable pull through. The second example is when I deadlift heavy. So we'll go into conventional deadlift, 3x8, go into triple pump hip thrusts. Whenever I heavy hip thrust on the same day that I heavy deadlift, I am absolutely dead on the floor. So I prefer to do my heavy hip thrusts on days that I squat, and then I'll do a lighter variation of a hip thrust on days that I heavy deadlift, just to focus on mind muscle connection. I find that I am less dead after I do that. Then you'll go into Bulgarian split squat. So this is just adding in that squat / lunge movement, 3x8 per leg, and then finish off with 2 walks. And then I'll throw in glute focused back extension, 3x12 after that. And I like to superset the accessory movements just to kind of get it over with quickly, because my compound movements take a long time. One thing that I forgot to mention is all of this is based on what works for you, what exercises you like, what you feel your glutes working the most in is the exercises that you should be doing. It's very individualized, so play around with all these exercises and see what works for you. Alright, so key number 2 is applying progressive overload. This is huge if you want to make sure that you are continuing to make progress in the gym, hence the word progressive overload. You want to progress each week. By definition, I'm going to read it to you off my handy dandy laptop. Progressive overload is when you are continually increasing the demands on your musculoskeletal system to ensure your body doesn't adapt. If you're doing the same workouts over and over again, week by week, same exact exercises, same exact sets and reps, then your body is going to get used to it, it's going to adapt to it, and you're going to stop seeing results. You're going to hit a plateau. This is called the general adaptation syndrome. When any stress is placed on your body will get used to it. So you need to switch it up a little bit. You need to challenge yourself each week to make sure that this doesn't happen and you can continue to see results and you don't hit a plateau. You could implement progressive overload by gradually increasing the weight, the reps, the sets, however you want to do it. Even tempo or frequency of how many times you do that exercise will work as well. Key number 3 is you need to be eating in a surplus. If you want the most optimal glute gains, girl, you got to be eating. Eat. That is so important. So you need to be eating in a caloric surplus. So what this means is that you need to be eating more calories than you are burning. You can still build muscle in a deficit, but it's a much slower process and you won't be able to optimize muscle gain or booty gain. You have to be okay with putting on just a little bit of body fat. I promise you though, if you are structuring your workouts correctly, if you are applying progressive overload, your body is going to use the extra calories to build and repair the muscles that were torn from your workouts and fuel your workouts. The more muscle you have on your body, the more calories that your body is able to burn. The higher metabolism is and the more you can eat. So we want to build more muscle, that way you can actually lose fat at the same time. One way to do this is to figure out your maintenance and then start at about 200 calories over your maintenance, slowly increase your calories over time, and eventually you will start to see muscle gain. You have to be okay with the scale going up. You have to be okay with a little bit of fat gain because we want a dump truck. We want a big butt. So that's what you got to do. To get the booty, you gotta eat. The fourth and final key is that you need to be eating the right macronutrients. Don't cut carbs out of your diet. Don't cut fat out of your diet. We want all of it. We want the protein, we want the carbs, we want the fat. Now, how much depends on you as an individual. Just remember, carbs are your body's main energy source, and we need them to fuel our workouts so we can push more weight, so we can be less tired, overall have a better workout, which causes more muscle fibers to break down. Protein is needed to build and repair the muscles that are torn after your workouts. So you definitely need to be eating, I would recommend maybe about 1 gram of protein per body weight, maybe even more. It really just depends on the person. Again, it's such a It's such a broad subject that it's really hard to give you an exact number. The typical percentages for carbs, fat, and protein is about 55 to 60% carbs, 25 to 30% protein, and 15 to 20% fat. Again, everybody's different. Each person has a different percentage that works for them. So those are the 4 key things that you need to be doing to make sure that you are growing the booty most optimally. If there's anything from this video or anything that you have in mind that you want me to dive deeper in, leave a comment down below. I am happy to add that to my list. Make sure that you stay patient and you stay consistent. Trust the process. You are not going to build your dream booty overnight, okay? It takes time, it takes effort. Don't let the number on the scale define you. We are bigger than that. We are better than that. Love yourself. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button because I promise you this is not the last educational piece of content that I will be posting. If you want to see more from me, make sure to follow my Instagram and TikTok at trainerpeyton. I post little snippets of like how to kind of form techniques as well as workouts and then some relatable and funny stuff just to see a little bit of my personality. And I'm interested to see what your guys' favorite exercise is to grow the booty. So comment down below what exercise you feel your glutes working the most. Because I'm curious. I want to know. I'm a curious gal. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed. Bye. See you guys next time.